Y'all remember playing MASH? This was easy in 3rd grade. MASH, for me at that time, could not have yielded any unfavorable outcome. Aside from living in a shack. Unless that shack was somewhere near a beach. I probably would be alright with that if that was the case, but I used to put my exes from like pre-K up on my MASH list. For my career, I think I did like being a teacher, being a singer, being a dancer. Think about that list now, and I think about how much of it I used to put on there that truly just wasn't me. It wasn't me. I think that where I've been has been a reflection of God's plan looking nothing like our own plan for ourselves. So, according to a childhood game that I've definitely played from maybe 2nd grade all the way to maybe 6th grade, reports as of now, 30-year-old version, that I will be living in an apartment with my 3 children, working as a counselor, and we will have a driver. So I guess we will ride in a limo or whatever kind of car he has. Notice the question mark and the floating hearts around the spouse section, because my children clearly have a daddy. I just don't know who he is. Yeah, I'm not sure if this was fun, like nostalgic, or triggering. When we were kids, planning life seemed to be like fun, and like dreaming about what it was gonna be was a part of the fun. And it's kind of crazy to be 30 years old in the season of my life that I used to dream about, fantasize about, that I used to hope for the best when I played these little till the future games, that I would bypass the shack and that I would be kind of content with everything else that I put on the paper, because I never considered that life would not be some sort of a dream. Life is life. And I guess it's a dream if you make it, that if you take whatever your portion is and you make it magic. So I'm here today because I have a lot to say. 1, I haven't been doing a good job of living my life. I got a lot going on, like a lot running through my brain right now. Like how March 7th was the anniversary of me putting in the letter of resignation on my job. How I had said that I would give entrepreneurship a year before I try to do something else. How 5 years, 2 days ago, I had another anniversary of writing down my fear list. And I'm a very reflective person, and I'm also just thinking about all the sacrifices that others have made to make sure that I'm safe and well in this season where I thought I was going into entrepreneurship. What I ended up getting into was a season of intentionally resting and getting to know myself. I'm proud of myself because I know I've done a lot of the hard work. When I did this prayer, this fear list, and I prayed the dangerous prayers and I prayed the break me prayer, I didn't even have any idea of how far away from myself I was. Everything that was like authentically me was either repressed or completely abandoned. When I got real still, I felt like I didn't even know what my dream was. Like I didn't even have anything that I was working for or working toward for me. So whenever I fell in love at 15, and I met a guy who had a dream and who seemed to be on a pathway of making his dream come true. He became my dream. Because there wasn't a framework for Unleashed, there was never an idea of being an author or a poet. I wanted to be a mom. That was one of the things that I desired to be. And I wanted love for that. And when I met him and he loved me and I loved him, I realize now that I just made my dream to be his. Even whenever we ended finitely, 10 years later, I remember feeling lost because I no longer had a dream. There was no longer a plan. The person that I thought I would spend the rest of my life with, the person that I believed would love me because of every reason, I believed that he would be the only person that loved me. This is not that kind of video, so we're not going that deep. If you've been here long enough, you know the relationship it ended up turning toxic, becoming abusive, emotionally, narcissistically. I was lost in him. And when we ended, I didn't know how to pick myself up. I didn't know how to think. What is the next dream? What is the next thing? And even struggled just to make peace with reality. He is not in my life. I realize now it gave me a blank canvas. In 2020, it threatened me. In 2025, I'm learning and I am embracing truths about myself that the Lord has exposed to me in my working through pedal strokes. And one of them that is true and that has always been true when I look back over my life before him, before the criticisms, it is true that I am an artist. It is true that I am a creative. It is true that I am gifted, that the Lord uses my words, my tongue, my hands to put good and goodness in the world, to create things that are long-lasting, that challenge and that move people. He has blessed me in a way that when I speak, people feel it. Whenever I open my mouth, he flows through me. And whether I'm sharing through speaking, through singing, or through testimony, through my poems, he carries my words. He used poetry to bring me back to himself. He used poetry to help me find myself. It's been so rewarding to finally discover what is the pulse to my existence. But lately I've been struggling because of a few things. One, been feeling like I cannot find my words. Like I've been disappointed by the need to have inspiration to create because I don't feel like that's honest. I don't think that is true for me. I just have not figured out how to pour whenever I don't have sparkles around me for some kind of way. Whenever I don't have an obligation to write poetry, it just seems like I can't get words out. And I want to write every day. I want to treat it like an art form, and I just been struggling. That's one thing, and that's been going on for some months now. And then on top of that, it's these anniversaries that I've been thinking about since the top of the year, going into my birthday in February, and now here, both anniversaries passed. It's on my mind. Like, life is still moving. And where am I? I'm not writing, and I don't feel like I'm showing up, living. And it's been hard. Y'all know. Y'all been walking with me. Like, y'all know I don't be not posting on here because I'm being lazy. I be going through stuff. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, you got documentation on the hurricane. Right after the hurricane was flooding, we had like 3 weather issues right there back to back to back. But the hurricane, y'all know, kind of messed me up a lot. And it was actually right after the hurricane where I was saying to myself that I think I need to get the clutter out of my head. Like I need to get stuff that I have not processed out of my head so that I can make something, so that I can write something. Because I feel like it's just too much jumbled up, too much backed up for me to be able to create anything. Maybe a mind dump will help. And my goal was to write just a mind dump every day, to journal every day, so that I could prayerfully get to my creativity. And I'm going to try to tie all these things up because there's a lot going on. But I watched a video recently by one of my favorite creators who essentially affirmed that my thoughts about doing a mind dump to clear my mind, to be able to create, was indeed a good thing. And she put me onto this book called The Artist's Way. And it's called like a spiritual guide to your creativity. And it's for recovering artists or recovering your inner artist. But the way I interpret all of that is to say this book will help me to engage God in my creative process, which I have always believed that it's a spiritual thing, a God drawing thing to create anyway. We are imaging Him as the creator when we create. We need Him to be able to do it. It's Him who allows us to be able to do it. And so I got all excited about this book. I ordered it immediately and I've been working in it. And I've been trying to do what this author calls, her name is Julia Cameron, the morning pages, which is what Nika J, the creator I was talking about, had mentioned that she does for herself every day. And she does it to nurse her creativity, to honor her creativity daily. And it's like, I want the discipline. I want the daily showing up, the daily commitment of taking care of the pulse. I don't ever want to feel like I cannot feel my heartbeat. And that's something that I'm desiring here moving forward as I lean into my identity as an artist. Where once I didn't know who I was, I became a dream and not a person. I let somebody else be my dream instead of defining it for myself. Now the Lord has given me room, space, a canvas to create. And honestly, for Him to create beauty out of my life. And I want to lean in. I want to get my hands dirty. And that brings me to my next confrontation. So I have this desire to create every day. Then I got this list, this fear list that I was talking about. And fun fact about the fear list, matter of fact, I'll read it to y'all. So this was on March 27, 2020, and it reads thusly. What are your fears? Remembering that areas where you are afraid reveal areas where you trust God the least. My fears are as follows. I feel very vulnerable right now. Not getting married, not letting go of or knowing whether to let go of, or both. Not knowing whether I'm able to have children, not having an income or a job that gives me thrills while I pursue my dream. Now, fun fact about these things, I confessed these fears as part of a series I was doing. It's called Dangerous Prayers. It was a part of my Break Me prayer. You probably heard me talk about this before if you're not new to my channel. Because this is a prayer that I prayed or a confession that I made that changed my life. Fun fact is, the Lord responded immediately to my confession, made me to confront my fears. There are videos on my channel to talk about some of these, and I know I need to finish it, but there is a supernatural testimony that I give about these experiences of the Lord getting involved to make me face my fears, to grow my trust in Him. But I have not seen whether this is my life now after confronting the fears and getting on the other side, or if the Lord is going to restore what I thought I had lost. So I've been living in the tension, and I've kind of been sitting in just the wake of those two possibilities. But I don't think I've been moving. I wouldn't say that I've been moving. Now, these things are like things that I consider to be out of my control. I won't know unless the Lord shows me. I won't know until the Lord tells me. But I'm reminded of sitting in the storm. Hurricane Helene sat over my city for 3 hours. And I was journaling this morning. This came to me, and I'm thinking about it now. And I remember being engaged in the waiting. From minute to minute, we were under threat. But when we started to pray, and when we started to worship, when we started to sing together, we couldn't hear the trees being ripped out of the ground. And even that kind of scared me at first, but the more that I leaned into the worship and dropped the anxiety, I knew I would be able to survive the moment, even if I didn't live through the moment. I've never experienced anything like that. I'm just grateful that we did, that we survived it, that we're okay. But y'all, that's where I was, like, making the most out of the moments, even though I could not control when the storm would end. The most that I could do was worship. The most that I could do was pray. And the Lord gave us peace. Not just me, but my family. He gave us peace. And just kind of allowed us to escape from the torment that was happening outside. A lot of times it feels like torment, like sitting in the waiting. It feels like a storm is raging, and I've been asking the Lord for 5 years to calm the storm, to turn the tide, to change the narrative. And it is not up to me when he does what he does, but what can I do in the waiting? And that brings me here, and I'm about to get right. This is not supposed to be a sad episode, but I was thinking that I need a new list. I want to create a list that shows my change. Like, I'm not the woman I was when I created the fear list. I've grown exponentially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I mean, I'm not arrived by no means. I'm still humble, but the Lord has done a beautiful work in me, and I recognize that I know I have to do better with challenging myself to show up as myself, and I have to start to fight back against my inner critic and against the memories that I have of people criticizing and beating up on my inner artist. Not only that, I have to figure out how to spend time between what I have experienced, what I've been through and survived, and when the Lord will return to me what I thought I had lost. If the Lord returns to me what I thought I had lost. I'm going to just say this. I truly believe that he will, but the Lord doesn't have to do another good thing for me. I want to honor him now with what he has given me, and that is a chance to know life and love for real. And so this list may not be one about my fears, but I think it can be one that helps me to be a better artist, that challenges me to show up, to step into my identity as unleashed every day. So this is what I've come up with. Find 4 bodies of people to share my testimony and read some of my story to. And then I have to like go and do it. Number 2. Well, really this is kind of like number 1. I don't even know if this is legitimate for the list, but it's a lot to it, so okay. I have to do my morning pages. I have to move. And I have to make magic daily. And I'm taking that from Nika J because I feel like it's a challenge that I can do. 3 non-negotiables. For me, I feel like this can look a lot of different ways. Yes to the morning pages, yes to the movement, working out, etc. For the creative piece, I'm going to give myself a little bit of wiggle room because I need to read. I'm a student. I'm a full-time student, and I'm in my internship trying to graduate. It's just a lot going on. So I need a little bit of give with that. But if I'm taking in new material and working out how I can engage as a counselor creatively, then I will allow that to count for some creativity. But I have to do it every day. I have to show up every day. Yeah, I think that's legitimate for the list. Also, I have to find and go to 4 free social events outside of my city. I gotta get out the house. Okay. I put the free on there because I do, and I have been wondering, like, how can a person live when a person doesn't have real money? I don't think I've ever been this transparent on the pod or whatever I'm doing on pedal strokes, but y'all know I left my breadwinning job last March. I have not replaced it. That's all I can say. It's been hard out here for a pimp. But God. Because the Lord, I mean, I still got all my possessions. I haven't lost nothing because he keep covering me. I genuinely do not know where the money be coming from sometimes to be able to pay my bills. But I be paying my bills. So now I think I can meet him, match him by going and doing something that don't cost me nothing. That requires me to be in a social gathering or in a social event. I also need this because a part of my obligations, according to my artist way book, I'm supposed to take myself on an artist date once a week. I don't know. We'll see. Haven't done that yet. So I can't even start tallying how I'm keeping up with my tasks until I do all the things. Like I have to do them all to get the point. So, okay. And I'm going to make number 4 that I engage in the process with y'all as far as like planning and prepping for these things and editing and posting the videos, documenting the process. I also will add on to that some content videos of whatever I create. I'm gonna try to record the things that I create if what I'm creating is not a video. Like if what I'm if what I'm creating for the day is not like editing a video. But yeah, I'm gonna try to share maybe like one of them a week. I know it's a lot going on this channel, but y'all just bear with me because I'm gonna do with it what I can. So now this is one more thing that we get to do together because y'all can hold me accountable with moving forward with this. I will see y'all next video. I'm glad you walking with me. Love you.